we are gathered here this afternoon to recognize this incredible service that Mary Beth Doheny has offered to the city over the last 37 and a half years, and much of that time spent as our City Council Deputy Clerk. And so I guess maybe I'll save my comments for a little bit later. It's my pleasure to bring up our Mayor Bill Peduto, who is here to present a proclamation on behalf of us all here in the city to show our much-deserved appreciation to Mary Beth. So, Mayor, welcome. Come on up. Thank you. Oh, man, I'm all self-conscious
Stand up
about
here with me.
Yeah.
Thank you. And as we call up Mary Beth Doheny, B, come on up and join us. It's my honor to be able to present this proclamation. I have had the distinct pleasure of working with Mary Beth for 23 years. And not only that, but also for many of those years being a neighbor right across the street. And I guess when I think back of those days when I first started working for the city in the 90s, you taught me the ropes. And like you did for every council member who came through, every staff member who came through, you taught us how to use the city code. You taught us how to write the bills. You taught us how to be able to manage an office. You taught us basically the processes of zoning and planning and the amount of time that's required in all the different parts that keep a city operating. And your work has gone so far beyond city council and administrations that you've served. It has affected every department and the people who are in those departments, and that has affected this city. So it's with great pride that I get to present this proclamation to you on behalf of the people of the city of Pittsburgh for all you've done to make their lives better. Whereas Mary Beth Doheny began working for the city of Pittsburgh in 1980 as a clerk stenographer, keenly interested in the workings of municipal government, she rose through the ranks, becoming deputy city clerk in 2001. And whereas in 2014, Mary Beth, known by all as B, was made city clerk, becoming only the second woman to hold the position in Pittsburgh since our first city clerk, Silas Engel, who served upon the creation of our city in 1816. And whereas during Mary Beth's tenure with the city, she worked with 6 mayoral administrations, from Richard Caligiuri to William Peduto. Adding to the challenging mix of personalities, she also dealt with 11 council presidents and numerous council members during her 37-year career. B states often that it was like being on a roller coaster. And whereas Mary Beth brought innovation to council, upon becoming deputy clerk, she initiated and oversaw the implementation of Legistar and the Legislative Information Center, which houses all of council's agendas, legislation, and video streaming. And whereas council members and staff will attest that B is passionate about the city and the work she did as clerk. She kept the 5th floor humming and would brush off the bad times with a forget about it. And of course, she was the life of the annual Christmas party. Whereas among B's proudest accomplishments,
that's one of them,
are the renovations of council chambers undertaken in commemoration of the city's bicentennial, and serving as the chair of the recently formed Commission on City Archives, which included hiring Pittsburgh's first archivist, who is working on a comprehensive inventory of all city records and their preservation. And whereas guided for almost 4 decades by her mother's wise words, there are 3 sides to every story. Mary Beth Doheny never lost the zest she has for our city and its people. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, William Peduto, Mayor of the City of Pittsburgh, wish you many happy years of retirement. We already miss you, B. Thank you for sharing your contagious passion for our city. I here do declare November 20th, 2017, Mary Beth Doheny Day, here in our most livable city of Pittsburgh. There we go. Make this official. As I tell everybody, you still have to pay parking tickets on your day. So, no free parking. Podium is yours.
Sure. As everybody knows, I'm not usually very brief, but today I have to say it's been an emotional day for me, so I'm going to try and keep it short. The proclamation said it well. When I came to work every day, it wasn't just a job. It was a passion, and it was a mission. And I feel so blessed and honored that I had the privilege to have a job that I loved so much. And no question or problem was too small. In fact, I used to tell the staff that chase is half the fun. Whenever somebody would come in and they'd have a date or a book or a volume and it was wrong, we would try to say, let's look at the next year or the year before. There was always a way to search. It's almost like dating. The chase is half the fun. So I think we did a lot of good in our days. The many people that I've had the privilege of working with, as Council President said, 37 and a half years. I can't count the amount of council members, but, you know, working with 6 mayors and all of their administrations and all of the different agendas and the renaissance that have taken place. And now we have a new renaissance man, and I know you're going to lead the city to great things. And it's been a great privilege, and I thank you all for having had the opportunity. Thank you.
I think council members might like to make remarks. So shall we take the photograph and then make remarks? So I can't imagine that council members would not wish to make remarks. Shall we just go straight down the line? Councilman Burgess?
Put them on the spot.
I know.
B, thank you very much for your years of service. You are, of course, my constituent and my friend. And so where you're going, I one day hope to go, right? I'm getting older, but I really do appreciate your service and appreciate all you've done for me and for this city.
Thank you, B. 15 years working together, not only on these halls, but again, working in Point Breeze and putting together community festivals. And I think it says a lot about you that you spent the very few hours you weren't here, oftentimes volunteering for your community as a leader of the Point Breeze organization and the South Point Breeze organization and the annual bonfire and so many other community activities. You will be missed on these halls, but thankfully, I know you'll still be in the neighborhood and still engaged. And certainly there are literally generations of Pittsburghers who owe a debt of gratitude to you for your service.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you, Bea. I just want to echo something the mayor mentioned about helping all of us new council people and staff transition and learn about how to not only draft legislation, but research legislation, and to the service that's involved in the commitment of time and resources and the knowledge and the expertise. We're reminded, I think, with your 37 years, that it's really important to have those memory keepers. It's so much faster than trying to peck away at your computer to just ask someone like B, when was it that we did X? And they'll say, oh, I remember that. That was like right around 1983 or something. And then it really helps you jumpstart your research, as well as just knowing all of the kind of the milestones, the signposts along the way, and having seen council probably entertain those questions before, and helping us and expediting our process as we try to craft good policy. So I really appreciate your help. Thank you.
Thank you. I also want to say thank you for your help and thank you for your knowledge as well. I mean, not even helping us transition to becoming council members, helping us understand how to set up our staff, but even here in chambers. There were many, many times where we would argue over Robert's Rules of Orders and you would step in and clarify, or we weren't sure about the process that legislation had taken and you would step in and clarify. That was always very helpful to sort of keep us moving down the right path. Even when at one point I was having some staffing issues in my office, B reached out to her assistant and assisted me.
Briefly.
So again, thank you for all that you've done in this city.
Yeah, B, I would say, since I was little coming to this place, you've always been here. So, not seeing you in this building is a little bit different. And I think, when you transition here, it's really helpful to have somebody like you helping all members. I think we take for granted how easy it was for you to write up legislation. We say, oh, here's an idea, where do we put it? What committee? Anything like that you were able to do, and it was through all of your years of knowledge. And again, as a couple council members said, you've helped not only us, but you've helped decades long of council as well as mayors move this city forward. But don't worry, we will still save you some drinks at the annual Christmas party. Now, I can't say that for some of your friends, but you're still invited to whatever party that you'd like to go to. So thank you again for all of your years of service.
Anna?
Well, I want to thank you, Mary Beth, for your kindness along the way, your cheerfulness, your down-to-earthness. Even when our questions may have been difficult, you were always game to help. And it really felt like I could always go to you with anything, whether it was searching for an obscure thing on Legistar or a media article or planning a complicated post agenda, or even knowing what a post agenda was when I first came to council and how to plan that. I appreciated your dedication as a new council member, and I certainly appreciate it now as a two-term veteran. And I want to thank you for all of your service to the city and wish you best in your retirement.
Good luck to you, Councilwoman, in your next adventure.
Thank you.
I'll be looking for you in Poland this year, I think.
Hey, you're welcome to visit.
And I want to thank you, B. I think that after I hear 37 and a half years, that's so much time. I can't even imagine spending that much time with my husband. But I just
That poor guy always gets the end of the stick.
Neither can he. But I want to just say, but I think that honestly, in the way that this ended, I don't think that we did justice to you by giving you a proper send-off and thanking you for all the years that you've been here and things that you've done. I do remember you oftentimes coming in the office and always helping us with whatever we needed help with, but I especially appreciated the times when you were frustrated yourself, because I know that we can be frustrating sometimes. And you'd come in and just have that look, but you still always found humor, some way to make something, say something positive or something funny, just to take the edge off of things. And I just want to thank you for your time here. The clerk's office has always been one of my favorite offices here because I feel like they're so underappreciated. They put up with a lot of nonsense, and they're not even elected. So I just really want to thank you for that. But I really appreciate that you made time to make sure we hired an archivist before you left, and who knew that you'd be part of that history now. So thank you very much for your work.
Hey, Councilwoman?
Can I slide over here? Sure. So there's a famous movie line that comes to mind, and it goes something like this: Scarecrow, I think I'm going to miss you the most. I miss our friendship, and I miss the long afternoons that we had. And we had great conversations, and I didn't think I'd get this emotional. But we formed a friendship over the years. We did. And I just want you to know how much I appreciated that. I used to come into the chambers, and when I was first running for office, and I'd speak at public comment like a lot of people do. And Mary Beth called me aside one day and said, "I think you want to work here." Do you remember that? Yeah, and that was
Because I
like
had never seen you.
13 years or so ago. But I just want you to know how much every one of us appreciates everything you've done, and your love and your respect and your friendship through all the years. And we'll miss you terribly, B. We'll miss you terribly, but you'll stay in touch.
Yes, and I hope to circle around again.
For now.
I said, I'm enjoying my time, but I certainly hope that, in time I can circle around again. There's a lot of work to do in the city and volunteering. And, you said to me one time, there's an art to know and when to step back. And I think I'm an artist, if that's the case.
Knowing when to leave is an
Yeah.
art, and many of us don't possess it. And I have a great deal of respect for Mary Beth for knowing when the time to leave is the time to leave.
It was my choice,
And
yeah.
choosing to go, yeah. Didn't make it any easier on us, but we respect the decision. And thank you for doing this. It's much appreciated, and I know members appreciate it. And why don't we take a picture?